Hey there and Happy New Year and welcome back to our channel. My name is Shell. I am the host of our DID system. And yeah, it's a new year. I feel like at times last year seemed really long, and at other times it seemed to fly by. So I'm really not quite sure how I'm feeling about it being New Year, but I thought I would take some time to talk about how we kind of view New Year's Day and what we are looking forward to for the coming year. Now, when it comes to the New Year, New Me, I'm not really big on that. I don't feel like the new year is like an automatic starting point. There are members of the system that very much do use the new year as sort of a fresh start. I personally don't feel that way about it, but it is a time to kind of reflect on what it is that we have been doing and what it is that we want to do, and try to correct any discrepancies between the two. For this year, our son is with his father for the holidays, so we didn't have him for the new year. We did have a couple of friends over and just kind of hung out, ate some food, drank some wine. One friend had to leave before midnight, but that wasn't a big deal. My other friend and I, the plan was to stay up until midnight. She fell asleep probably around 11. And then I decided to set an alarm for 11:30, and I took like a nap. And I woke up for the alarm, but then I went back to sleep. So both of us missed the actual countdown. So our plans did not work out the way that we had hoped, but it was still a good time. It was good to hang out with friends. For me, I always try to make sure I'm not spending New Year's alone, because it is a trauma anniversary for us. So if I'm with other people, it means that I don't have the time to think about the bad thing that New Year's kind of represents. On the actual New Year's Day, we woke up, we watched a show on Netflix called School Spirits, which 100% recommend. It was really good. We really got into it, and the ending had such a twist to it. And then after that, we went over to a brewery that was having a hangover brunch. Neither of us was hungover, but we still went, and we had some cider and some amazing tacos. And then I went back to her place, and we had some mulled wine, and her mom made homemade taquitos. So it was a pretty good way to start the new year. Oh, I'm glad things worked out. Last year, when we thought about what we wanted for the new year, at least for me, it was to focus on myself. My word of the year was me. I wanted to learn to look at my needs and make sure that I'm taking care of myself instead of always putting all my energy into other people. And I think that we did a pretty good job. I am emotionally in a place that last year I did not think was possible. And I think that very much has to do with the fact that I just focused on what was right for me, what was right for us as a system, and what was right for my family. And that has definitely released a lot of the burden that I used to carry, because I was always so focused on how other people were doing that it became almost like a responsibility, even though nobody put that responsibility on me. So for this year, I want to continue that and continue to focus on setting boundaries, making time for myself, listening to my needs, and really learning about myself, because a year ago, I felt like I was the only one in the system without an identity. It feels like everybody else kind of has an idea of who they are. But when it comes from me, I'm like a blank slate. I really felt like this empty shell that the others would pour into. And I, as myself, didn't really exist. But I'm much better now. I've gotten a little more handle on my own self-identity. and been able to cue in with the things that I want. So I really want to continue working on that in the new year. One thing that I definitely want to do is I want to try to be healthier. I would love to start working out, but that is going to be more of a long-term goal, because right now I get post-exercise malaise, meaning that like I get really sick after I exert myself a lot. So I like can't go and use the elliptical at the gym because once I stop, like I get so sick. So I have to see a doctor about that and get some blood tests and see like is something low that I need to be taking supplements for. Hopefully once I'm able to talk to a doctor about it, it'll correct itself and I can get to working out again. The other thing I want to do is I do want to eat more healthy. Definitely cook more meals at home and not order out so much, and also make more vegetables, because like I don't have a problem with my son eating vegetables. I know what vegetables he likes, and as long as I'm serving those, he'll eat them. He'll eat second servings of them. It's just that making vegetables with a meal it's just like one more step. It's one more side that I have to add, and I just have not had the energy. And that's the other thing I need to talk to a doctor about, is to figure out why I'm so tired all the time, because by the end of the day, it is all of my energy just to be able to cook, let alone making sure that I'm serving like a, fully balanced meal. Some evenings I just don't have it in me. And so I'd like to figure out what's causing the fatigue and see if I can do something to fix that, because it does really get in the way of my life. And I think that now that I'm in a better place mentally, I can start focusing on some of the physical things. And that's got to be the first thing that I focus on, is the chronic fatigue. Because if it's just a vitamin deficiency and I just need to take supplements, then that's an easy fix and I'll be happy to do that. But if it's something more chronic, like my grandfather had chronic fatigue syndrome, so it's possible that that could be what I'm experiencing, but I won't know that until I see a doctor. I'm kind of hoping it's a deficiency, because then I can fix it. But if not, then I'm going to have to learn how to work with the constant exhaustion and figure out what to do about that, which I'm hoping eating healthier will help with that. So those are some of my personal goals for the new year, is really to focus on my entire health, both mental and physical. And that includes working with the system and getting to know the system better, and stop resisting communicating with them, because I think a lot of the times when I'm not aware of the system, it's because I don't want to deal with it. And so, but having communication with the others, if we're constantly communicating, that's a constant reminder that, yeah, I have DID. And I think that that's something that I need to work on so that we can function better as a system. Because we've kind of been going back to where I'm not sure if we just haven't been switching or if I'm just not noticing the switches. I think with us being alone and not having our son with us, it's harder to gauge who's out, because sometimes we don't know who's out if we're not interacting with someone. So it can be really difficult. And I know for some people it's kind of well, does it really matter? But for us, it's because we want to see what the triggers are. If we switch, why did we switch? And why did we switch to the person that we did? And each altar has their own skill set. And it would be great if we could learn to control switches so that the altar that is best prepared for a situation is the altar fronting for that situation. I would love for us to be able to, at the end of the day, I can switch with Ariana and Ariana can cook dinner. I think that would be a tremendous help as far as the level of exhaustion that we experience. But we're still a very long way away from being able to do that. And I need to kind of give up on this. I still have this tiny hope in my head that's like, no, you're faking it, this isn't real. And I think I need to give up on that idea and really just accept once and for all, like, no, you have DID, you are part of a system, and you need to figure out what that means for your life instead of just trying to ignore it. So I think that's going to be something that I want to focus on. And going forward, we still want to continue to do the channel. Part of the reason why filming has been so inconsistent is because of the chronic fatigue. A lot of times I'll use my lunch to film, and lately I use my lunch to take a nap. So I'm hoping that I get the fatigue figured out, and gonna try to be a little more consistent with posting videos. I think we also just kind of got burned out a little bit towards the end of the year. So I think we needed to take a little bit of a break. We took a short break from social media in general, and not like an official break, but we just weren't going on it. And I think our brain needed that kind of reset because we were too deep into the social media, I think. And that's another thing going forward is I want to go back to using social media the way that I did when I first started creating content, and really have it be about like, oh, this is what's interesting to me. This is what I think is important for people to know, and focus on that and not get into any of the drama. Like, I'm not majorly into any drama. I tend to stay away from that stuff, but it's been enough that it affects me mentally. And I do want to pull away from that. I don't want to get involved in the Twitter battles. It's exhausting and it's pointless. And I think that if anything, what we might do is start using Twitter less, and do less mindless scrolling on Twitter, just because that seems to be the most toxic social media app. But yeah, going forward, we're still going to continue to make content. It might be a little bit before we get ourselves up and rolling again, just because, like I said, the exhaustion has been very real. But hopefully something happens and I'm able to get some energy back. Yeah, I've got one more week before my son comes back from his father's. So I'm hoping to use this week to rest. I really need to clean, because I traveled. And then I was sick while I was traveling. So when I came back from traveling, I slept all the time. Like, I didn't do anything but sleep. So Veronica gets irritated, but like, she really is the best cleaner. So I might see if I can bribe her to come out and at least like get the dishes done. And then maybe Angel can do the laundry, which is funny, like, because laundry can be a bit of a trigger for us, but like, it doesn't bother Angel. But Angel also, she can wash and dry the clothes. She cannot fold clothes to save her life. So if we can figure out a way for her to like be out for like the washing and the drying, and then maybe have somebody like co-friends with her to help with the folding, that might be an ideal situation. So I don't know, maybe I'll sit down and try to figure out a plan for that and see if we can find some success with that, because yeah, the housework has gotten away from me. But you know, like I said, with the new year, it's a point for me to reflect and decide like where I want to go from the position that I'm at, just because it's a date that everybody does it. It's a good reminder to be like, oh, hey, I should check in. But I don't believe that if I don't have all my ducks in a row on January 1st, then my year is shot. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with that. But I do think it's a good time for reflection. And I hope to continue to grow in the new year and continue to work on getting better. And of course, work better with the system. That's got to be a goal for the year, is to just have better communication with the system. Let me know in the comments if you do New Year's resolutions, and if you do, what they are, if you're comfortable sharing. If you want to continue this journey with us into the new year, make sure you subscribe and hit notifications so you know when we upload. Like I said, it might get a little bit for us to get the ball rolling, but I am really focused on trying to get videos out more often. So keep an eye out for that. And until next time, take care and stay well. Bye.